Upon King Kai's request, Goku was granted rare permission to enter Otherworld with an eagerness to push his limits. He found himself standing at the edge of Snake Way. In mere minutes, Goku flew across the winding road. When he finally landed, King Kai was waiting, arms crossed, eyes wide with shock. King Kai was stunned. He mentioned that it should take him at least a few weeks to get there. The two wasted no time in training. From the moment he stepped foot on King Kai's small planet, Goku felt the gravity weighing down on him. It was 10 times that of Earth's, but he quickly adjusted to it. Over the course of his training, Goku's natural abilities were honed and pushed further. King Kai taught him the essentials of ki control, showing him techniques to focus his energy and maximize his attacks without wasting power. The most intense part, however, came in the teachings of the Kaioken and the Spirit Bomb. King Kai explained, the Kaioken will multiply your strength, speed, and ki, but be careful, push too far and your body won't handle it. But to King Kai's astonishment, Goku's body, instead of breaking down, seemed to be adapting to the Kaioken strain. Within days, Goku had not only learned the Kaioken but pushed his limits, training himself to use it at multiple levels without serious consequence. He also mastered the Spirit Bomb, a powerful attack that could only be formed by gathering energy from surrounding life forces. Suddenly, Goku could feel something on his leg. It felt familiar. Looking down, he sees that his tail grew back. Instead of removing it again, he saw an opportunity. He wonders if he could somehow control and master his giant ape form. This was Goku's newest objective. With newfound strength, Goku prepared to return to Earth, his spirit renewed and his powers greater than ever. Goku's time on King Kai's planet has come to an end. He returned to the realm of the living, prepared to face the looming threat of the Saiyan and Viltrumite invasion. The invaders arrived on the planet. Goku would convince them to fight somewhere else so that lives of innocent humans would not be at risk. The group landed in a desolate rocky landscape. The Z-Fighters split off, forming into pairs. Piccolo and Krillin took on Nappa. Tien and Yamcha squared off against Krieg, while Gohan stayed close to his father. Goku eyed Conquest, saying, "I'll take you on. Let's see how strong you really are." With no more words, they launched into combat. Piccolo and Krillin fought hard against Nappa, the massive Saiyan matching them blow for blow. Meanwhile, Tien and Yamcha fought a brutal battle with Krieg, who laughed off their attacks like they were child's play, countering with brutal precision. On the other side, Goku and Conquest clashed, their power so great that each blow shook the ground beneath them. Goku released more power. He was still holding back. Goku's aura would flare as he would activate Kaioken times 10, his speed and power increasing dramatically. Conquest's calm expression faltered, and a seasoned Viltrumite had to go on the defensive. Meanwhile, Vegeta stood back, watching with a smirk as all of this happened. As the battle raged on, Piccolo and Krillin were starting to wear down Nappa, letting a coordinated attack that sent the hulking Saiyan reeling. Tien and Yamcha were less fortunate. Krieg, with a deadly blow, left Tien and Yamcha struggling to stay conscious. Sensing his friend in danger, Gohan launched a sudden attack on Krieg, surprising everyone with his power. Gohan's energy flared, which distracts Goku, and Conquest notices. With a powerful blow, he knocked Goku back and narrowed his eyes at the young Saiyan warrior. Despite Goku's warning, Gohan charged at Conquest, his small form radiating power beyond what his age would suggest. Conquest responded by grabbing Gohan mid-attack and tossing him aside, though Goku intercepted, catching his son just in time. Goku's energy erupted, the air around him crackled with red as he pushed Kaioken to its limits. "Seems like you've got some fight left. Good, this will be interesting," Vegeta would say. Without warning, Conquest surged forward, his movements a blur of practiced precision and raw power. He launched a series of devastating strikes, each blow carrying the weight of his extensive battle history. Goku, fueled by his rigorous training and enhanced by his unique Saiyan Viltrumite hybrid physiology, met each attack with equal ferocity. The clash of their fists created shockwaves that sent ripples through the barren landscapes, sending dust and debris flying in all directions. Conquest's experience gave him an initial edge, allowing him to anticipate and counter many of Goku's moves. However, Goku's relentless determination and the raw power coursing through his veins began to tip the scales into his favor. Each strike from Goku was infused with the intensity of his Kaioken technique, amplifying his speed and strength to unprecedented levels. The Viltrumite warrior found himself struggling to keep up with Goku's accelerated pace, his own attacks beginning to lose their effectiveness against the hybrid superior power. Vegeta, Nappa, and Krieg watched from the sidelines, their expressions a mix of surprise and concern as they witnessed Goku's overwhelming dominance in the fight. The tide of the battle turned decisively when Goku delivered a series of rapid punches and kicks that Conquest could no longer defend against. The Viltrumite's metallic prosthetic arm, once a symbol of his unyielding strength, began to slowly crack under the immense pressure. Goku's relentless assault shattering the prosthetic, leaving Conquest vulnerable and exposed. Bleeding and battered, Conquest staggered under the onslaught. Goku, sensing his opponent's weakening state, intensified his attacks, driving Conquest further into despair. Conquest's movements became sluggish. In a final, decisive maneuver, Goku unleashed a powerful flurry of blows that sent Conquest reeling. The Viltrumite collapsed to his knees, barely able to stand, his body battered and broken from the intense fight. The metallic remnants of his prosthetic arm clattered to the ground, a stark reminder of the brutal defeat he had just endured. Conquest lay on the ground, his once mighty form now diminished. The reality of Goku's superior strength was undeniable. Goku stood over his fallen opponent. The ground around them was scarred from the ferocity of their clash, a testament to the immense power that had been unleashed. With Conquest defeated, the immediate threat was neutralized, but there is still Vegeta, Krieg, and Nappa to worry about. Nappa, disappointed by Conquest's defeat, decided it was best to unleash the full power of his Saiyan heritage. With a determined glare, he created a power ball and launched it into the sky. Vegeta grinned, recognizing Nappa's intent, and the two Saiyans fixed their gaze on the artificial moon, their bodies beginning to transform into towering great apes. Piccolo, sensing the immediate danger, shielded Gohan, ensuring he kept his eyes away from the power ball. Goku, however, saw an opportunity. Knowing the transformation was unavoidable, he let his eyes lock onto the power ball, his body swelling as he began to transform into the mighty Uzaru. Meanwhile, Krieg, watching the chaos unfold, felt the eyes of the remaining fighters on him. Smirking, he beckoned them forward. Krillin, Piccolo, and even Chaozu joined forces, pooling their remaining strength to confront the relentless Viltrumite. Goku struggled to hold on to his humanity. Sensing his inner turmoil, Vegeta and Nappa didn't hesitate. They lunged at him, seizing their chance while he was distracted by his own battle within. Together, their combined strength proved formidable, and despite Goku's attempts to fight back, he quickly found himself outmatched by the relentless assault. In the meantime, Krillin, Piccolo, and Chaozu attacked Krieg with everything they had. The coordinated strikes managing to weaken him despite his fierce resilience. Tien and Yamcha, recovering from a skirmish with Conquest, rejoined the battle, creating openings, and they worked together to keep Krieg on the defensive. Krieg resisted, his defiance fueling his every move. Seizing an opportunity, Krillin unleashed a destructive disc aimed at Vegeta. The razor-sharp energy disc sliced through the air and struck Vegeta's tail, severing it. Vegeta began to shrink, his towering great ape form retracting back to his normal Saiyan state, leaving him vulnerable. At that moment, Yajirobe arrived on the battlefield carrying senzu beans. He quickly tossed them to Tien and Yamcha, revitalizing them. Energized, they dove right back into the fight, reinforcing their carbines against Krieg. Goku, still in his great ape form, felt a surge of clarity as he watched Vegeta fall. He activated the Kaioken, going up to ×5, and with a fierce right hook, he sent Nappa sprawling to the ground, knocking the great ape unconscious. Seeing the tide turn, Piccolo took aim at the power ball and destroyed it with a powerful ki blast, causing Goku to shrink back to his humanoid form. With Vegeta and Nappa incapacitated, all eyes turned to Krieg, who now stood alone against Earth's united defenders. Realizing he was now outnumbered and his allies were defeated, Krieg's arrogance faltered, replaced by a moment of bitter recognition. In a final act of defiance, he declared that Lord Frieza would certainly take interest in Earth, as its fighters had managed to best not only Saiyans but Viltrumites. He knew, however, that returning to Frieza with news of the defeat would be risky. His scouter had broadcasted the entire battle, meaning Frieza likely already knew. With the invaders defeated, Goku stood amidst the wreckage, surveying the fallen foes. The battle had been hard fought, but Earth's defenders had triumphed. Krieg will call for the ship and collect Vegeta, Conquest, and Nappa. Goku chose to let them go, wanting to fight them more in the future.